Hi everybody, hope you're doing marvelously well. We're going to play around with the Gullfoss plugin in this episode. They have recommended to us that we try something, and this is using multiple microphones. So we're going to have a spaced pair of small diaphragm condensers, affordable ones, and then a large diaphragm condenser on the acoustic guitar. I'm going to phase align them as best I can, and then we're going to play around with the relationship between those three mics. So let's have some fun. So this is going to be a very interesting video. I'm going to look to find ways to make the acoustic guitar sound more interesting. Most importantly, I want to make the acoustic guitar feel like I'm in the room as opposed to mono mic, put some reverb on it. I really want that guitar to breathe. And I don't like stereo miking. I like this idea of trying the spaced pair, but I don't really like the stereo miking where it feels like the low end is over here and the high end's over there. I don't want that. I want it to feel like it's still coming at you cohesively, but it has sides to it. So let's see if we can do that. The great thing is Sound Theory have given us 3 copies of Gullfoss to give away, and they've given us a coupon code, which is PLAP30. You can see it down below. So if you use that coupon code, you will get 30% off a purchase. So what we're going to use is 3 microphones, 3 very affordable microphones. The Lewitt LCT 240 is about 150 bucks. LCT 040s, which are the small diaphragms, a pair of them is about 50 or something like that. Basically, super inexpensive. And the reason why I like them is they're almost zero noise. There's like no self-noise. So the idea is to record close mic acoustic guitar here. I'm just going to randomly play some stuff, strum a few chords, do some arpeggios, some lead lines, a bit of everything that you would do. And we'll align these mics here so the phase is fairly good. And then we're just going to play with Gullfoss and see what it can do. We've done this a lot with Gullfoss to see all of the advantages the plugin has. So this is one of those ones that we're going to test to see when all the mics are phased aligned, how much it can really blend in all of those different signals. So let's do some playing. Okay, so here we have all 3 of these. I'll put my headphones on. Here's my first mic, the close mic. This is the large diaphragm, the LCT 240. And then we have a left and a right pair here. Much brighter. Bit of ambience in them. Now I'm going to zoom in on the front of this waveform here. The great thing is the left and right are almost exactly right. I feel like I might want to nudge. I'm going to do this in samples. So I've selected nudge here and I went to 4 samples. You see there's 1,000 there and I just went 4 samples so I can nudge it really subtly. So I'm going to nudge this one back. Let's have a look. It's getting pretty close. Maybe just a little bit more. Pretty centered. Pretty darn nice. You can hear the room. It's not massive. We're not sitting in a big cavernous room. And then as far as this one is concerned here, I feel like it could come back. Let's get this close, Mike. Let's nudge that back. Okay, let's give it a listen, because that's really all that matters, is how does it sound? The first thing you hear, obviously, when you're talking about getting things in phase, getting good polarity, is the low end cancels out quite easily. That's the first thing, because you're talking about big fat wavelengths. You can see when I bring this close mic in, the low end actually gets bigger. So that's a good sign. With it out. Now let's put it in. Out. In. You can feel that low end arriving. Let's go for this little section here. Take it out. Add it in. Perfect. So, pretty good phase relationship. Okay, now let's bus these all to one stereo pair. Pretty special on acoustic. Now I'm just messing with it. I've put the recovery time up maximum, so it's going to be moving super fast. The tame control about halfway up. Bypass it. And you get it where I like the sound of it. Oh wow, the bias. Don't need to brighten it anymore. Darken it. I want to hear that widdly bit, technical term, that widdly bit, without the plugin on, and put it on. You know what? I can see why they're recommending we try this out. Listen to how it's controlling the low end. Take the plugin off. Back on. To get those kind of results where the low end is as even as that, typically is multiple sets of EQ and compression, and you sort of spend some time shaping it. I can see why this is a winner on acoustics. It's definitely more even. It's more natural sounding. I don't feel like I need to like do a whole bunch of work to it. It's interesting they recommended I try it with multiple sources. And I think the reason for that is it just makes the acoustic guitar sound more interesting. I'm going to bring the close mic down. Bring it up. Oh, it's nice with the close mic. Too loud, almost. Makes it feel three-dimensional. That's really special. Hopefully this is translating in the wonderful world of YouTube. So now what it feels like is I've got a three-dimensional sound. I feel like I've got the close mic pointing out the middle and then the sides kind of sitting around either side of it. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I love that. Very interesting. Now I really want to mess with it. It's got me thinking. I'm going to grab a inexpensive, comes free with Pro Tools Deverb, and I'm going to make it really small. Let's go for like room here. .300 milliseconds and put the mix down to about 48%. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Now let's have a listen. So what I've got now is I've got this very, okay sounding, recording, really inexpensive mics, and I've made it sound super classy. Got maximum tame here. I could just use that for a single vocal acoustic. This has got me thinking about some really interesting ways. I don't know about you, I find that I don't like stereo miking guitars close up. I don't really want to hear like a low here and a high there. It just throws me off, especially when it sort of randomly moves from one place to another. But this idea is really good. Keep it wide, keep it mono on the guitar. And that way, the wide, especially now with that little extra reverb to really cheat it, and you don't have to add that. That was just kind of nice because we're in quite a small room. It makes it more interesting. So now I can listen to a solo acoustic guitar and have a little bit more spice without it just sounding like I stuck a reverb plugin on it. Because the reality is that even sometimes miking rooms just sounds like, strangely enough, you just put a reverb plugin on it. It doesn't feel classy. It doesn't feel like I'm in the room with the acoustic guitarist. Now it does. So thanks ever so much. Hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget, if you want to buy it, you can get 30% off by putting PLAP30 down. You can also enter to win one of 3 copies of this lovely plugin. And let us know, How do you record acoustic guitars to make them sound interesting? Rather than just sort of super wide and smothered with reverb, what I like about this technique we're employing here is just to make the guitar sound a little bit more centered with sides, so you feel like you're actually sitting in the room with the acoustic guitar player. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. Please leave us a whole bunch of comments and questions below. Thank you ever so much for watching.